don't we have anything that
Mhm.
you can be proud of in Canada itself, regardless of who the president of the United States is?
So I was wondering if you could just tell us the story of the Reform Party and what were you thinking? Why did you form it? What opposition were you up against? And what were the ideas that were motivating you?
The National Energy Program took $110 billion worth of wealth from the western provinces and the producers and transferred it basically to central Canada.
So how did you know how to do all that? So you had already been in politics for a
Well,
long
my,
time?
my father had been premier of Alberta for 25 years. Our family used to keep track of time by provincial elections. I can still recite them now. 1935, 40, 45, no, 44, 48, 52, 59, and 63, 71. And in fact, I get political science students who say, if you've got a professor that can't discuss politics except in left, right, center, ask him if he also believes the earth is flat. The new axis is between political parties that are guided and managed by aristocratic elites and versus bottom-up democratic populists. I can think of no safer depository for the ultimate powers of society than in the people themselves. Where the drillers go out and drill someplace that nobody else has on the hope of hitting gas or oil. And most of them get a dry hole and go broke, but occasionally they hit something with enormous amount of energy. It can catch fire and become very dangerous, but there's an enormous amount of energy there if you could ever harness it. And well, I think one way to direct that passion is to give them something to do and to have a to-do list. You don't just have fiery speeches where everybody gets fired up, but okay, what do we do? Don't let people go away from that meeting saying this is great, but what do we do? And by God, in the 1935 election, they ran candidates against Abraham's desire, and Albertans threw every last member of the previous government, the premier, the cabinet, and every last MLA out of the legislature and put in these new people. And one of the funny things on this subject, at one of our conventions, we had a panel in which we asked them to distinguish what are the distinctive characteristics of conservatism in their region. So the Atlantic person said tradition. The Quebec guy said soft nationalism. The Toronto guy said business.
Wow.
The Prairie guy, which was linked Byfield, said revolution.
Wow.
And the BC guy said polarization and being at the right end of the pole. Don't we have anything that you can be proud of in Canada itself, regardless of who the president of the United States is? You have the longest coastline of any other country in the world, 1.5 times longer than the coastline of the United States. Are these not things that we can be proud of? And we declared war on Hitler and the Nazis 3 years before the United States. You're going to allow an American president to dictate who the next prime minister of Canada is? Yeah. What does that say about Canadian democracy? Yeah. This concept of an elected Senate with genuine distribution between the provinces. In the U.S., that's one of the characteristics of their Senate that makes it a very strong force for national unity. He would stop and say, and besides all that, Carthage should be destroyed. And so Stad resolved that he would end every speech he ever made in the Senate was, and besides all that, whatever he was talking about, the Senate should be reformed. One of the most important ones, I think, is where you started out. This business of looking at politics as through the lens of left, right, center, and there's still a lot of commentary in that the new axis, and this isn't just true, it's true in the United States, it's true in Britain, it's true in France, it's true in Argentina, is through the aristocratic elite portion of the political spectrum versus the populist democratic bottom-up. That's the new axis.
I often tell people participatory democracy doesn't mean going to vote. It means a lot more than that.
I say the people who choose to not vote in the politics of their country will be governed by those who do. I think you and I would agree we're not just doing this for the sake of talking. It's important that that Canadians become more involved and that they inform their own discretion if they won't let somebody else do it.